Hello and welcome back, everyone, to Rocket Rabbit Commentaries. And today, and this time, and with your permission and aplomb, we are going to be doing another movie commentary. Specifically, Cloud has chosen for us to do Abbott and Costello's 1942 film Who Done It, a black and white murder mystery comedy film that stars, well, Abbott and Costello, a very powerful a very popular radio comedy duo from, well, the 30s, 40s, and 50s, to the point where they were also involved in a lot of earlier other Universal cartoons. Specifically, I remember that Abbott and Costello, I believe, were a part of the original Scooby-Doo Where Are You cartoon as a guest cameo.
As a matter of fact, yes, they were on Scooby-Doo very early on, which was like towards the latter end of the career, because I would have put them probably like 30, 35 years on the public airwaves. I was introduced to Abbott and Costello by Looney Tunes cartoons, actually. And kind of, brings back warm reminiscences watching TVs with Mama. And, yeah, I like the voices that they played. That Lou Costello is the more quirky, the yelling type, gets a lot of humor, kind of like in a Chris Farley kind of way. Not that you could see the red on his face, because this is a black and white picture, but always playing a stark contrast to his partner in crime, Bud Abbott, the taller, more handsome, more competent, he's the guy who helps make the arrangements, and Lou Costello is the one who helps all but tear them down. And these two also are most famous for Who's on First, which is a 5-minute sketch based on baseball, which just an umpire and a coach talking about, the owner of the team, talking about who, what, and who.
Yeah. Who's on First is my the big thing that I know from Abbott and Costello, specifically because a lot of modern comedy writers like to lean on Who's on First because, well, they really enjoy the sketch and they think that they can bring something more, either bring something more to it or update it for the modern era. But as we're going to see by going through this movie, no, not really, no. All right, so I do not have all that much attachment or experience with Abbott and Costello, so this is going to be a mostly a blind experience for me. But this is a 40s movie. As such, there's going to be things in this movie, guys. There's going to be things.
Tropes
and situations that are, mostly rejected on because we as a society have decided that these things are no longer appropriate.
Like men being the holders of the purse, like the Irish, a lot of stereotypes, really. But
yeah,
we forget this movie because it was
specifically 1940 stereotypes. All right, so are we ready, Mr. Cloud?
We're just about ready, yes. And if you are joining along with us at home, when we hit play, we will hear the screen brightening up and the original Universal Pictures logo and background fanfare coming on.
All right, then. 3, 2, 1, press play.
Bum, ba, bum, ba, bum.
Universal.
Oh, I bet people were excited to see this one. I heard of these guys. They're funny. Universal presents. Very quietly now. We're just minding our own business. Just two guys walking down the street. When all of a sudden...
a death in the
bang.
Captain.
But who did it? Who was that guy? Quick, let's get out of here before they think it was us. When really the reality of what we're watching is that this is a silhouette of two grown men going against this is a scrolling backdrop, actually.
Yeah. John Grant.
Kind of like that old trope in Looney Tunes cartoons where the background would just keep cycling over and over again, which also was used in Scooby-Doo.
I'm familiar with this
recall.
joke from Ed, Edd and Eddy because it was a big scam that the Ed, Edd and Eddy set up to have the fastest trip around the world in a rocket car. And of course, Ed screwed it up by being homesick.
Oh, right. He was standing perfectly still while the screen kept going.
Yep.
Dun, dun, bum, 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 bum.
The Global Broadcasting Station.
Going to work. Now, of course, being that this is a movie, a drama, and finally a comedy, as we will find out shortly after. Hello, George Washington. We do have to set up the premise.
He is getting a checkup.
He's getting a checkup because this guy's looking a little close to death. And of course, you can't have a murder mystery unless a man dies.
So a mile and a half tall, eh?
Very statistic-driven news. Sounds like the kind of thing that will make you catch your ear. Want to turn up the radio a little bit more and stick around in order to hear a word from our sponsors.
But it is the 40s. Are sponsors really a thing on radio at the moment? Well, yes, they are.
Of course, everything is driven by money in this fast-talking, high-pants-wearing, hat-wearing world.
Ha! He does actually reference Doyle. Okay.
And he does actually draw conspicuous scrutiny onto himself that perhaps this guy is going to be the killer. Now, you may be wondering, this is an Abbott and Costello movie. Where Abbott and Costello? Well, first we have to go through the fluffernutter of the film. So most of this movie, its premise is that Bud Abbott and Lou Costello are soda jerks, and they get invited onto a radio show because they also are dramatically interested in creating their own sketches for radio in order to make some money and a name for themselves. Right now, they are just two schmucks, don't even know what the hell they're doing.
As soon as we actually get introduced to the producer, of course. Oh, Jane
now we find
and Jimmy.
Also that Jane and Jimmy.
We could have more diverse character names, you know. They could be Mary and Adam.
Are you responsible for killing this man? Or will you be? Now, it's hard to use the word intelligent with respect to Bud Abbott and Lou Costello. The writing is very particular. If you've not been exposed to much of their type of comedy, a lot of it has to do with like anachronisms and logical conundrums. If you've listened to Who's On First, you would know that they take literality and assumptions very seriously.
Well, that's what you see in him. You're sexually attracted to him, but it is the 40s, so you can't say that.
Are you coming on to me, Colonel Andrews? Oh, no, of course not. I'm just offering you a shoulder to cry on. he's no matter how many times I say it, he's just not ready for the smell of Limburger cheese. Don't make me cut the cheese.
So
No, don't
does
hit him
Lou
with the
actually have
Limbarger.
any like Sylvester screams going throughout this movie?
Sylvester screams?
Yeah.
Oh, he yells a few times.
Okay.
That's why his first line is he's the guy with the guy with the booming voice. And he also does that squeaky thing when he laughs. He's cutting the cheese. That's why I cut the cheese is a euphemism for flatulence. Take the gas mask off, you. What do you think this is? The Backstreet Boys reunion tour concert?
So how did he fit the clothespin on his nose underneath the gas mask?
Look. Because he's a comedian. He can do anything. As long as it's funny. Yeah, I could win a bet against you. Come on. No, it's going to cost me a shitload of beverage. It's a lot of milk.
As he just got 7 drinks for effectively 5 cents.
That's 7 times 15. That's so he got $1. So he saved a whole $1 on all those drinks. They're going out of business. We're gonna need that $1. She said chocolate, you silly bastard.
I mean, there are multiple flavors of chocolate malt. You could have strawberry, you could have vanilla chocolate, you could have dark chocolate. It's the 40s, so these don't actually exist yet, but still.
Oh, they got malts. They probably still put cocaine in the Coca-Cola.
No. It's the 40s. Cocaine and Coke stopped around the 20s.
They didn't even think of putting a lid on the blender there. What a simple... That's hers, you silly. Ha! That makes me laugh in this modern era of beverage service.
Soda jerks. You see, I would call them soda jockeys myself, but...
You know, we could tell that these guys have been working together for a long time.
Muck and Meyer, Mr. Cloud.
Yeah, he's giving it to him. Yeah, really suck it to him. Hey. Now you can see where modern comedians, they get a chuckle out of people just by putting on silly voices. and having an answer for everything.
Needs a little bit of refinement, but sure. I mean, come on.
You look like exactly the kind of boys who would be a patsy in a real murder mystery. You really want 3. Eggs?
Haha! Egg on his face.
Well, it's like some Amelia Bedelia type shit. Well, you did say throw him an egg, so he threw you an egg in the face. When pies in the face were hilarious. See, this little kid can fool some people. Not everybody. And now making reference to how fat Lou Costello is kind of reminds
Which
me
is
of
weird,
who
because
is it
I'm
now?
more obese than Lou is.
Don Quixote y Sancho Panza. You just threw them in the trash just in time for the kid to pick them right back up. Yeah, sure, these are good. I didn't see you just do that.
Well, you are a heel. I mean, I'm not entirely sure if professional wrestling is a thing yet, but
Actually, it was. Well, not wrestling, boxing. Boxing was a big thing during this time of radio. That kid just had me again. You're just blaming everything on the kid instead of blaming it on yourself. No, he just had himself again. It's alright. Fat and lovable will get what's coming for him. Lots of happiness.
I'm sorry I'm not actually commentating on the movie. I'm trying to, actually piece together where some of our disparate plot threads are going to end up connecting.
Gerda, we forgive you for not supplying commentary during some of these portions of the movie, because not only have you not seen this movie before, but because this is a 40s movie and is largely dialogue-driven, if we don't shut the hell up, we will miss what is happening on what is a relatively simple plot.
Right.
Romeo
Abbott,
and
come on,
Juliet,
you
of
don't
course.
Sorry, Bud. Yeah, Bud. You don't need that.
I think the surnames will do just fine, Mr. Gerdet. Well, that was
that's
very
a double
poorly
line.
added in post. Yeah, damn, you're damn right that was in post.
Yeah, you can tell when stuff is in post because it suddenly gets significantly clearer.
Yeah, and you also couldn't see her lips moving. You seem the kind of crazy who would be able to pull off a murder, because, yeah, we're unable to distinguish between whether the murderer is necessarily male or female.
Well, the murder hasn't happened yet, so...
Oh, but it's coming. It's the murder at midnight. Oh, darn it. I was supposed to think it, not say it.
Oh, are we gonna have a CIA intervention?
Yeah, sounds like even more motivation. Something that would cause this particular man who was checked by a doctor. He is, in all intents and purposes, only slightly ill with what appears to be a heart condition. And just like a baseball stadium, live radio drama needs live music. And live screaming. And a live blank.
Superstition, Mr. the Cloud Person.
Yes, speaking in a very grave voice that something terrible is about to happen. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, did we say this movie had cheese? No, it has cheese, and it's got ludicrous moments. Uh-oh. Looks like he's having a heart attack.
So far he's not actually been murdered. He's suffering a heart attack from overwork, which is a thing that most certainly did happen in the 40s. But
No.
lots of zooms.
Murder. Murder? Murder? No, it wasn't me. What are you talking about? I had nothing to do with it. I know I only just appeared here for the very first day. You can't blame me. You coppers got nothing. You dumb dicks got nothing, I say. Call the... Very Chris Farley. Very Eric Andre.
But this isn't something that we can solve ourselves. We don't have any clues.
No, but who could have better imagination than murder mystery writers? Rigor mortis is not a person's name, you silly.
I mean, Mortis could very well be a last name, but...
Yes, very Three Stooges, physical comedy.
Yeah, but Lou does it. But Lou does it a bit too much, in my opinion. At least from what we've seen so far.
Oh, that's right. Nobody saw them in the theater except a couple people. Only one of them knows that they're not real detectives.
Right.
Grill 'em, but I'm not hungry. Uh, are the funnies starting to rise for you, Mr. Gurdett?
Not yet, honestly. I mean, I will grant that Lou's delivery of these lines and his stage presence is really top notch, but he's putting in way more effort than honestly he should for the drama elements of this to really come together for me.
Well, I mean, it's not. It's only incidental that it's dramatic that we're supposed to be feeling things that a character just got killed, but then we knew from the beginning that he was going to die. I guess you could say this is how you got people's attention back in the day when you could see people acting ridiculous in real life. Well, you could see them on the big screen where they are well known around the world for being ridiculous. Yes. What a convenient zoom in on a man who might be the murderer.
Big problem with this particular setup, of course, is that's not how electric chairs work.
So they're going to postulate that when he pushed the button in order to turn on his microphone, because the microphone is off until activated, that it actually completed the circuit, sending 10... Watts or volts? What are volts? What is it?
So this is the reference to Who's on First that you mentioned.
Only for a brief moment. Honestly, this is the equivalent of Family Guy bringing back a rehash joke. Only for a brief moment, because they usually don't bring up the rehash any longer than the original was on screen. Like, don't do it. It was just going to be a demonstration. You're trying to kill me, huh? Yeah, you're trying to kill me.
Electricity isn't magic, guys. Come on. I know it's the 40s and electricity is still somewhat magical, but it's also the 40s. We've had electricity for over 50 years at this point.
You should know how it works. We used to do demonstrations where everybody would hold hands, and then Benjamin Franklin would send a jolt of electricity through a crowd of people. Don't worry, Costello. We know it wasn't you. You couldn't hurt a fly. Unless, of course, that fly was yourself. I'm getting slapped on the ass by the rubber glove that I was keeping in my pocket just a second ago. All right, kid. You've only tried to fool me 3 times, but I bet you'll be genuine this time.
Lou, come on. You can't be this stupid in a dramatic comedy. Come on.
The kid only did what you paid him to do, buddy. My God, he was so scared he jumped out of his shoes.
Which is an interesting parlor trick.
So scared he can't think straight. He can't walk straight either. You little wise ass. As an aside on the known culture of the time, the phrase make love actually meant not the physical act of lovemaking, but the wooing and courtship, which ultimately would lead to sexual intercourse.
And this is why we switched over to hand pressure fountains.
No, well, I mean, public water fountains definitely have fallen by the wayside, especially in this more recent time of the Backstreet Boys reunion tour concert. I actually have seen a foot pedal-driven hand sanitizer pump, which was pretty interesting. Except the problem is the pump, had so much fucking gauge that you step on it once and half a gallon of hand sanitizer goes spilling all over the place. Come on, you can do it.
Okay, that is admittedly a good slapstick moment.
See, this is just like how they commentators said that the 1980 release of Airplane, I think it was like 83 or something. So Airplane, exclamation point, also was very slapstick, very nonstop humor.
There's also
there was
another movie
definitely
I've never seen.
Whoa, that's a good one. I got my buddy to like that movie because he did not understand that it's just a roller coaster of ridiculous shit happening. Not that the ridiculous shit necessarily has anything to do with the core plot, but that it just keeps hashing it out. Jealousy, you say? More motivation, not government intrigue? Yes. Seems almost like that one video I
Which
saw
again
where a
wouldn't
man
actually
was...
work because, well, that's not how electric chairs work.
No, not... Well, yeah, because in a real electric chair execution device, the electricity is administered through the head, not through the seat.
Right.
The seat is incidental that the body will go limp once an electric charge is applied, so the person would have to be sitting, not standing. Yeah, I had nothing to do with it, even though I was the guy who wrote the script using exactly the murder device that ended up killing Colonel Andrews. So now we have another mystery on our hands.
Hey, Juliet.
Where are the impersonators? No, don't put me in there. He's full of life. He can dance.
I am here because the plot demanded me to be here, Lou. No.
You really don't want to ask Costello to do anything, sensitive.
Okay, I like that. For the record, it is a cookbook.
Oh, because Andrew's goose was cooked. You know. That doesn't sound good.
Yeah, women aren't allowed to have hobbies. It's the 40s.
She can read? Oh, wait, sorry. That's the 1840s. Of course, because only a silhouette casted against a
But,
glass
come
door could be a
on.
murderer.
I'm recognizing a lot of the stage direction here being similar to the Timon and Pumbaa animated series.
To the what series
The
now?
Timon and Pumbaa animated series.
Timon and Pumbaa. Ah, see, that is another great comedy duo with Nathan Lane and what's his name?
I honestly really like that show.
I think Nathan Lane is a funny man. He's a funny man. Also a man of Broadway. Oh, he's a murderer. He's done it once before. He could do it again. Come on, search him now. Come on, you can do it. You're competent. Pretty genuine, like you might, They fell for it. Run.
So that's where that Scooby-Doo joke comes from. Huh.
Because they did it first. Somebody had to pioneer this crap.
I mean, I am noticing that Shaggy and Scooby have got a lot of the same, a similar stage direction as these guys do as well.
Oh, you mean like one person giving instructions and the other person misconstruing it for comedic effect? Yeah, that's very Shaggy
not
Scooby-Doo.
that specifically, but using a lot of improvised distractions in order to either further the scene or further the plot. Blech.
Or save their butts.
Or save their butts. Yes.
Uh-oh. Who's that talking? I don't want to die. What? He's dying.
So the third one's gonna be a classical music piece, right?
The train's coming. No. The train's coming. Did you see the train? You mean it? You mean it wasn't it? There's one question we will never answer is, what is wrong with Lou Costello?
Well, I know what's wrong with Lou Costello. He's an idiot that's very easily influenced by his environment. Now that is also a nice joke.
I just forget how quick and snappy these jokes are. Somebody turned out the lights.
As a somewhat obese fellow, he cannot possibly fit on that damn thing.
Oh, yes, he can. he hung his hat on the knife sticking out of his chest. Now that is
way too
Scooby-Doo.
perfectly cut. Come on. So this, especially since it's supposed to be glass.
I like how the glass also has an outline of his hat too. that freaking hole in the wall shaped like the guy who ran through it is as old as cartoons itself. That is brilliant.
It's interesting to note that these guys would go on to inspire a lot of our more well-renowned comedy cartoons.
Yeah, in the middle of all this laugh out loud hilarious jokes, like the plot is rolling, the cops are moving in, the detectives had just caught back up with the two guys who were impersonating him, and now, incidentally, the phony detectives
So it is Juliet.
It started, well, I mean, they dropped two big hints now. The first is that they found a book in her purse that said 57 convenient ways to kill a man. The second is that Juliet was hiding in the very same closet where we just saw the doctor with a knife in his heart. And now the corpse is gone. Only bad things happen in the dark. You dumb dick. Oh, wow, some actual music in the background.
And with actual stage sounds, too.
Yeah, so what happened to this illusion of women having money and power in this country? More suspicious silhouettes.
Because it is the 40s and everyone must have a suspicious silhouette.
With a hat.
When did the
Appears to
trophy start
have a
falling out of
handkerchief.
fashion in popular media?
What, hats?
Not hats in general, but the trilby specifically.
Trilby. Probably. Well, I mean, hell, you could make the case that Michael Jackson kept the trilby popular, well through the 80s.
He tried to at the very least, but the trilby was mostly dead by then.
Now, somebody's being violent. Surely that guy was the murderer.
Nah.
Maybe it had something to do with that government operation that Andrews was alluding to right before he sat down in the chair that killed him. Don't leave this man by himself. But you're not a transcription. You're a... You broke the vase over the wrong head.
So they should have been able to see him at that point. Oh, and drug trip, of course.
That's the slip, all right. You see, this is a prop door meant to simulate the sound of a door closing for the effect of radio drama.
Like a lot of the slower, more quiet jokes, I actually really like in this so far.
That's right. They realize that they are not as dumb as Abbott and Costello. They figured out it was a transcription only 5 seconds later.
Yeah, Juliet is definitely in on it. She might not actually have done any murders herself, but she's definitely in on it.
And thanks to Juliet's quick thinking, especially with the brains to unravel mysteries with her imagination, and also more convenient ways to kill people.
Also,
we
this
have an
would have
elevator
killed
gag.
him. I like
Yeah,
this visual effect, but if this was actually happening to them, they would be dead.
You see, back in the day, in order for them to simulate the effect of objects appearing to move in fast motion, they actually had to accelerate the speed at which the slides were going through the light.
Yep.
Playing videos faster or slower is also how they achieve the video and speed up and jerky motion effects that you could see in Primus's music video for Winona's Big Brown Beaver.
That's a lot of rope.
On the bottom floor, conveniently, of the same radio station, there's another production, and everybody has no idea what the hell is going on upstairs. This is a perfect opportunity to catch them, boys. Tall one and a little fat one. Sounds like just about every character that Abbott and Costello have played throughout their careers, both animated and in motion picture.
It serves as a pretty poor description of pretty much all of our pairings in this movie so far.
Well, so far, Costello is the fattest character we've seen so far, so any fat guy must necessarily be related to him somehow. Mr. President! And that also is a trope of movies from the 1940s, is that they will take a still shot of a message that is handwritten so that they can send it to, of course, the viewers.
Okay, now is this supposed to be anagram stuff, or...
No, of course, this is just exactly the perfect evidence they need in order to piece this all together. Huh. Grease up the hand if you're feeling rusty.
Tumblers. Cool.
Do your job, you're not in a costume. And that is Lou Costello doing actual front flips during a time when he could have very easily had a stunt actor do it for him.
Lots
That
of very
was a
clever,
great
clever
use.
editing there.
Yeah, definitely some trickery involved. And now for the big finale. And we do mean big finale. With his big fat ass suspended in the air in a chair. Oh, I wouldn't stand there if I were you. Oh, he landed on it.
Radigan. That is a nice hiding spot, bud.
It only had to work for a second. Oh, you can't lift him. He's too heavy. You look like you would have made a great start in the circus. You in a rodeo, as a rodeo clown.
It's like 7 feet. You can jump down that.
Nah. Oh, great. Now you're down there, and now I'm up here.
See? He's fine. A bit stunned, but fine.
Poof!
That would knock them out.
That guy got hit in the head with a coconut.
2 coconuts.
You know, it's not as easy as it looks. Sometimes I have to move the chair, and sometimes my butt itches real bad. It's nice that we get to see actually a rather wide variety of entertainment. This is for a live audience and live theater. All right, that about sums it up. Okay, ready? And jump.
You know, that trick would have worked if he had actually landed on it and it was 2 guys, not 3.
If only so obvious that they partially weakened the lever so that it would snap as soon as his big fat ass landed on it.
Yeah.
Shh. Now that is some Buster Keaton type shit. Because that could have easily landed on his toes and ended his career. He jumped through the window. And now they make their great escape from the stage.
Oh, it's a Jack Black reference. Cool.
Oh, you mean like the cover of the POD album?
Yeah. That is a covered Jeep.
Yes, the Wheel of Fortune, well before television and solving word puzzles. Oh, you better answer that phone number now.
Alexander? Isn't Alexander like a couple characters too long?
No, probably Alexander for A. A is in Alex. Don't drop the nickel on the floor. Drop it in the payphone, of course. Seems like a good time for a drink. Ha ha. Coffee business is just a grind. Kind of like the elevator business. You know about the elevator business, Mr. Gerda?
It's sandwiches, people.
It has its ups and downs. Yeah, why is it that everybody can get their calls out except for me?
How the fuck are these people answering at long distance in the 40s?
Why is the line busy? I have 5 minutes to make my fortune. But you didn't leave it open.
Yeah, I don't buy this joke. I don't. I'm sorry.
What, that it only doesn't work for him?
No, I don't buy
Well,
that
because
these
we
people
don't-
are actually get connected to their long distance calls like this.
Well, of course not. Because that is really fast. I mean, Jesus Christ, it's even faster than modern internet. And also, why is it that each time the person that each of these characters is talking to is conveniently right next to the phone just as they called? And now everybody's singing for a moment.
Well, screeching an opera, but
All right, come on, Merv. If you want to get your fortune, you got to call Alexander 2222. Come on, it's simple.
he has spent like 30 cents on this already.
No, this is some Adam Sandler type shit. I'll give you all wet. Now who's all wet? Nah, now you're all wet.
I
You
wish
really
that's
showed
how
her.
that worked, honestly. That would have been a great.
It's not.
That would have been a great way to get in trouble in the 40s.
Their 5 minutes is up, by the way.
Yeah.
Now, if only they could get in to claim the money, but now the cops are looking for them, and they're guarding the front.
Okay, I like that that almost worked, okay?
All he had to do was just put on a hat, and he was the.
It works
he
for
was
Kirby,
the
why wouldn't it
elevator.
work for Lou?
Congratulations, sir. Oop. Well, mind your head there. You're gonna knock over the microphone. Yeah, tell him who you are, of course. Yeah.
Huh. You know, he said our check for $10,000. Doesn't that mean that he owes significant taxes on that?
That's right. You got two things, and there's two of us.
The second time we bring this joke back. Okay.
No, no,
Oh,
no.
come on,
turn,
guys.
turn
It
that
is your
crap.
famous joke. You can't really hate it that much.
It's no good. I mean, we're the guys who did that dramatically, but no, these guys, they sound terrible. They don't sound anything like us at all. Right, chick? All right, just let him say one word. This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Everybody gets a phone call. Well, I mean, it is convenient enough for the premise of this story. Surely it will work. Blimp.
Okay, he is not that fucking obese. In all honesty, Radigan looks to be about as obese as Lou is.
Oh, right. Like it was some other fat guy with a tiny head. I got a tiny head? I will have you know, Mr. Greta, that fat people are always welcome in comedy.
Ouch.
Yeah, you know, this is just for demonstration purposes. You know, just like this. You know, for demonstration purposes. Yeah. Yeah, you could do that. Nice little sound effect of the handcuffs locking. Ah, how very interesting. Get the key.
No, that's what they call being physically annoying.
Now we're doing the fish slapping dance. Right before Costello falls on his face.
Yeah, Chris Farley does take a lot from Lou, doesn't he?
Yeah, his loud boisterous demeanor, the physical comedy. Attempted murder. Yeah, you watch the picture just like I was, and then make like you're being approached by an usher.
That's not true, Juliet. He was a Tumblr like an hour ago.
Why is one guy in the comedy duo more smart than the other one?
Well, that's the thing. It's supposed to be the idiot and the straight man, so I understand the premise here, but Lou overdoes it a bit.
Yeah, that's just their style. Oh, I see. Yeah, that's right. I'm still handcuffed. Yeah, see, I could do anything I want with him, see? Because he got his hands handcuffed behind his back. I know, because I only just did it. Yeah, he's handcuffed, oh sure, yeah.
This bit goes on too fucking long.
He's running. Oh, we got some doit
You
on you.
can't blackmail
Witness
the
doit.
prosecutors like that.
Well, you guys could lose your job if everybody finds out how bad you are doing it. After all, we're the worst.
More fade.
Murder. Murder at midnight. Huh. Czechoslovakia is not even a country anymore.
Yeah, because this is the 40s, and Cuban Missile Crisis is 20 years out, right?
Cuban Missile Crisis. Yeah, that would be about 1963.
Ooh.
Political intrigue.
Coded messages, Mr. Cloud.
Coded messages. Turn taking in radio delivery. Have you ever taken like a drama class where you had to like, you know, read your line when it was your turn on the script?
No, but I've always fancied myself as wanting to play a villain in effectively anything. I've always been fascinated with stagecraft when it comes to major villains.
Yeah, I could definitely see a fascination with villainy. Yeah, he jumped and he said he did it. He was halfway to making a confession. Now he runs for it.
Oh, I was sure that it was that Julia was in on it.
We got you now. Of course, it's not actually him because this is Mervyn Milgram. And it's his good friend, Chick. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we are moving to the climax of Who Done It. We are going to catch the murderer and bring him to justice once and for all.
This is not the cellar, Lou. How did he trip over the smokestack there, Mr. Cloud?
Oh, there are no shortage of idiots in this movie.
Oh, we're gonna do the Maltese Falcon ending, aren't we?
I've never seen the Maltese Falcon.
I also
actually
have not seen the Maltese Falcon, but it gets referenced rather cleanly in the Gargoyles animated series. So
interesting. Bang, bang, bang. Once again, we are using auditory distractions in order to stop the bad guy. Mervyn Milgram takes advantage of this opportunity in order to climb back from the flagpole back safely onto the building where he can reach a ladder and achieve a safe landing.
you can't lift your ass for additional leverage, okay? You can try to, mind you, but it doesn't work that way. Just climb up the ladder, Lou. Come on.
That's dangerous. Don't you know you're going to create broken glass? lost my shoe.
How do you lose your shoe walking up a ladder, Mr. Cloud?
All the times I've seen him put on his shoe, I've never seen him tie him. Aha.
I don't think his shoes actually have laces. I'm pretty sure they're just leather slip-ons.
And of course, we've actually reached the dramatic climax. Now there is a lot of music playing in the background. And what has been a relatively quiet picture. Save, of course, for transcription-driven sound effects and music. That rubber glove I kept in my pocket this entire time. Finally, we'll have a point.
How is he so accurate with it is my question. It's a fucking the rubber glove elasticity is not does not make a good slingshot.
No, sure,
That is
this will help.
actually really fucking ingenious. Thank you, Lou.
No, not him. Him.
If there's that much smoke coming out of that, that means that container is going to give him lead poisoning.
You're out of bullets, mister.
It's a revolver. Come on.
Oh, everybody knows he can't climb ladders that quickly.
You get on top of the ladder and then kick down at his face. Don't cross the electric wires, you...
Fat boy on a tiny wire. Fat boy on a tiny wire. I'll slap you. You get any closer to me, I'll slap you. Come on, you can do it.
The illusion here is actually really fucking well done. I like this.
It's a lot easier to do in black and white cinema. Because, I mean, all the details look pretty muddy and blurry as it is, so you can't see, like, the backdrops and the edited portions. Watts or volts, though?
Now, if he was actually affected by that, he would be dead now. He would be suffering from third-degree constant burns.
You try standing still. And so at last our culprit has been cornered. He's got nowhere to run. And there's a conspicuous send help sign that is totally unreadable by people that are coming from the floors below. Huh.
Ah, more slapstick.
Who's the fat guy now, huh? Bet you couldn't take a fall from a fat guy on your back. And that's our lesson for today's movie, is always eat your spinach.
You know, because it is the 1940s and we have to reference Popeye at some point.
Da 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 da. He's got to unscrew it from his hand. And so the closing action brings us to the end screen. Finn. The end. And so ends a tale of humor, mystery, noir, and, of course, murder. In Whodunit, starring Abbott and Costello.
Yeah. I gotta say, this was not as good as I was hoping it was gonna be, but it was still pretty damn good, to be perfectly honest. I like a lot of the slower ones with the more quiet build-ups and such. I think Lou is overselling his idiot bit, to be perfectly honest. But Bud is pretty on point for most of this as a straight man.
Well, they play well off of each other.
They do. This
Does
was
it
definitely
sound
enjoyable.
familiar?
I'm not entirely sold that I would use this as a basis to go for other Abbott and Costello works, though. Mostly because if I want this kind of comedy, I got like 4 different fucking cartoons I can go pick at.
Yeah, and then just like this movie, was not Abbott and Costello in isolation. I mean, they shared the stage with a wide variety of characters / celebrities, musical guest appearances, and so on. And also, having likenesses of themselves on like Looney Tunes, Scooby-Doo, cartoons, and popular media. They were well beloved throughout the world, and especially in American folklore, where they started on the radio, by the stage, live acting, doing their own stunts, which is, one of the oldest ways of entertainment before they realized that insurance companies simply would not allow it, unless, of course, you work for Jackass and Dick House Productions. That I also was happy that we could see the basis for a lot of recognizable jokes in today's media, going all the way through favorites like South Park, The Simpsons, and so on.
I didn't see a lot of South Park. I mean, the small amount of slapstick of that is in The Simpsons, sure, but not so much South Park.
Well, anytime they have a dopey character, I think you could trace it back to Abbott and Costello.
Well, that's the thing. I don't think South Park has any of those anymore.
No, they do. They it would be Mimsy and what's his name? Mimsy. No, oh boy, boss. Well, we sure gonna get him this time, boss.
When was the last time that they actually showed up? They've not been around for almost 3 seasons now.
Yeah, but they exist.
Okay.
That one bit where they're trying to sabotage Timmy, and then the guy who's guiding Mimsy around. I can't remember. Well, I mean, Mimsy calls him boss all the time, but then he gets raped by a shark.
But yeah,
several times.
This was an enjoyable movie. I have problems going this far back in the cinema, like. Jesus Christ, there's a lot of problematic stuff in this, especially early on. But like, it's not problematic enough to be all that distracting. But I feel the want to address it.
Oh, it's definitely a more archaic type of motion picture that you could see by checking just frame by frame where they did speed up, slow down, where they jumped frames, did some photographic trickery. Yeah, they did not leave any illusions about it. Is that the premise and the characters and the situations are about as ridiculous as the final mastering for the picture. But it gets the point across. It provided a basis for a lot of really, fast and snappy Abbott and Costello type jokes. A lot of them you don't see coming, but then once you hear it, you just shake your head, grin, and laugh. That's Abbott and Costello in a nutshell. They just wanted to make you laugh.
I mean, that's definitely what they were trying to do, but I would have appreciated it a bit more direction given to the drama aspects of it. But honestly, Abbott and Costello flounder around for like 45 minutes while the plot is just taking a huge backseat.
Well, yeah, but that's every Abbott and Costello bit. This is just one of them.
Yeah. But yeah, this was a good time. As we mentioned throughout the movie, if you're looking for this kind of comedy, Timon and Pumbaa the animated series does it really well. I personally think Ed and Nettie is like the kings of this stuff, though. Ed is so fucking adorable. God damn.
Yeah. Sometimes all you need is a little stupid, and then you have a lot of fun.
And then you have to remember that, oh right, Ed is a cosmic horror that is literally fucking invincible.
Literally, he's indestructible.
Dude, he lifted a sewer, like an entire goddamn sewer hole. He just lifted the damn thing.
Yeah, and he weighs a metric ton, but he's clearly standing like 6'5", like 250 pounds.
All right, everyone. This has been us going through Abbott and Costello's 1942 film whodunit. It's a good time. Especially if you're into this idiot and straight man style of comedy. I think it's my turn to pick out the next movie, and I'm not entirely sure what we're doing yet. Mostly because I am on the cusp of planning for a vacation at the moment. So.
Yes, tune in next time after Gerdat returns from vacation dramatically after so many and nondescript hours that we will have for you another Rocket Rabbit Commentaries picture.
All right, everyone. Be safe.
Knock my microphone around. Peace out, y'all.